We complain about all sorts of things. You look at Thomas, he's got loads of things to be bitter about. You know, he's completely 100% chosen to open his arms up to the whole world. He's got a complete free spirit. He doesn't have all this baggage. You know, he's not afraid of loving anyone.
There's no prejudice.
He is who he is, and it's just so refreshing, really. We don't know half what goes on inside his head.
Thomas has got Down syndrome, and he also has a diagnosed autism as well. He's got severe learning difficulties, so he's got communication difficulties as well, and uses Makaton sign language to help us understand him.
They actually didn't tell us officially until 3 days after Thomas was born.
Which was good for me, because it meant I had that time to bond with him. This baby, you know, beautiful baby, was my little boy.
Well, there's 20 months between me and my brother, so my memories are very blurred. But I don't ever remember being told, or maybe I was told, but I didn't care because I didn't see the problem. I just saw my brother as just completely normal, really. I just found that all normal because you don't know any better. Just remember a lot of tubes in his nose.
One of the things that quite often happens with Down syndrome is that quite often there's complications with the heart. We were constantly having to contact a doctor, and then we discovered that he actually had got problems with his heart valves, which consequently resulted in Thomas having quite a serious operation to repair his valves. Thomas ended up in intensive care. His valves ruptured again.
Really, the first 2 years of his life, he was in and out of hospital, wasn't he?
Yeah. This went on until he was 2 years old, where they actually then fitted a mechanical mitral valve, which at that early age was actually still a new operation.
They actually said, actually, he is really ill. He needs to be in now because he's not going to make it.
If he didn't have this operation, he wouldn't last that much longer. So there were times when you could say it was quite stressful, but we did get through it really, you know. We had an incredible amount of support, tremendous support from friends in the church. And that was incredibly helpful to us, to know that there was a lot of people at the very difficult times praying for Thomas and praying for us.
We had so many people praying for us and supporting us, and you know, friends coming up to see us. Thomas has definitely got a faith of his own.
Do you love Jesus? Jesus. Yes. Do you love him? Yes. Yes. Let's try and get Thomas to participate. You can go now, Tom. Jesus, I like it.
He was baptised about 3 years ago. He was asking to be baptised.
Right, Thomas. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, we baptise you.
I've never seen him as happy as when he came out of the water. And many people have said how he affects them, that they recognise his faith, and he's gone up to people and started to try and pray with them, or trying to give them a hug if they look sad in church. But I remember when he was little, he couldn't get himself understood, he couldn't understand. That was very frustrating for him.
Yeah.
Throughout his life he's had that disability of not being able to communicate, and that's has caused a lot of frustration and behaviour difficulties. That was one of the main reasons that we really sort of wanted him to learn Makaton, and the schools were brilliant.
No, you're home next week. Yeah, 1 week.
But from school and college, they've got that facility there.
There we go. Yeah.
Dad.
We'll go in the lift train and we'll dance at the hotel.
And he's really come on with his communication. That's really helped him. So that's made a huge difference to him. Yeah. He seems to be a lot happier in his life, doesn't he?
Yeah, very much so.
Actually, when he first started college, I'll never forget the first day when we were just about to leave him. He just came up to each one of us and laid hands on each one of us and said something. I don't know what he was saying, obviously some sort of prayer. It was really moving.
That's just the effect that Thomas has, a very positive effect. They've noticed it in his college, and they actually, his certificate he got last at college was awarded a certificate for going out of his way to cheer people up. And that sums Thomas up, and we're really pleased that the college have picked up on that as well.
He inspires a lot of people and blesses a lot of people.
And we've actually had people come up to us and say a difference that's made to them.
Thomas just breaks down all those barriers and, you know, just wants to go up to chat to them and shake their hand and make them feel welcome. I
remember it was, you know, it was always a worry, like, oh no, what my friend's going to think of my brother, you know, it's going to be really embarrassing, stuff like that. But, you know, obviously all my friends over the years have all been fantastic with him. And
I think one of the things that became apparent, there's a lot of Nathan's friends who have also now become Thomas's friends. When it got near to Thomas's birthday, they declared an interest in wanting to come to if he was going to have a party, they wanted to come to it.
Nathan's friends see Thomas as a friend as well, genuinely.
It's really nice to see my brother interact with, you know, my friends and see him develop his own relationships.
Thomas always had a thing about bouncy castles, so that's one of the reasons that we decided to have a bouncy castle right the way through, and even till his 21st party. So they've always been real occasions, and on the day he's just so excited about getting everything ready, and he's got to have burgers, got to have a barbecue. Barbecue is very important to Thomas, and to make sure that everyone's well fed.
It's just priceless, isn't it? Seeing his face when everyone turns up.
Superman. That's about. Yeah, but in there it says what? Look. Legend. That's you, boy. You're a legend. There's no money in it. You're looking for money.
He's so happy to see everyone there. You know, Nathan's friends.
And the mad things that they do on the bouncy castle.
Yeah, he just loves that. All the dangerous things. So that's his best bit. He loves it, and sometimes you catch him a sort of glimpse of him just watching it all and taking it all in, and his face is a fantastic picture because he's just loving it. You know, he'd rather sit and watch than actually start joining in on the bouncy castle because he's just loving watching it all, isn't he? Yeah. And you're right, he just wants to see other people happy all the time.
Say thank you. Really nice, Tom. You like flowers?
And of course it's a good excuse for everyone to have a go on the bouncy castle, isn't it?
It's going to be spectacular.
Well, I'm right.
That was really terrible. That was so terrible.
There've always been real occasions because there's so many people want to come, and they've just developed and grown, and I guess they'll continue to do that.
I think it's been a really special time for everybody.
And people come from all over the country for them. Oh, I've got to be there, which is great. They don't want to miss Thomas's party.
No, it's not coming your birthday. It's not your birthday. How are you?
For him, I think the biggest enjoyment out of it is just him seeing people come together and everyone being happy, and it's for a day, it's how the world should be. The two universes, if you like, of the average person deems to be reality. You know, you take that as one universe and the other universe as the disabled community. You know, they don't cross over enough. But actually, we all share the same world.
We've been privileged really because not only having Thomas in our lives, in our family, but meeting other people like Thomas has really enhanced our lives. And he'll probably want to carry on having passes for Bouncy Castle till he's in his 40s and 50s.
3, 2, 1, go!
Thomas has got two very, very proud parents and a very proud brother.
Mm.